You in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, a spin-off from the web series The Two Dicks, via satellite. Al Ducharme from Norge, Virginia, at my sister's house. Al Romas is in port somewhere on the adventure of the seas. Al, where the heck are you? What is that ship behind you? Iceberg. Right ahead.
We are in Coco Cay, and that's the Freedom of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas, right next door. And there are entertainers on there, and you would think, hey, let's get off the ship and meet up with the other entertainers. No, sir. Only one ship's crew can get off on the island. So they did it 3 or 4 days ago. We did it today. So there'll be no fraternizing amongst the entertainment families. But the passengers can go out on the island together and mix and match.
It makes
go
no
back
sense
to their ships. So does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
No, I don't think so.
They're worried about cross-pollination of the COVID. It makes no sense.
We're all people, and if passengers are doing it, what's the difference if crew does it? I don't understand.
They make a decision, and somebody high up makes a decision thinking that it's a great idea.
High.
And everybody thinks they don't want to say that's dumb, makes no sense. But hey, okay, whatever you say. Let's get our bonuses. You're a genius.
Yeah, it's weird.
Nobody knows how to run a cruise ship better than a stand-up comedian. That's it. It's been proven over and over again.
Yeah,
the entire
goddamn
operation.
Right. You're goddamn right. I'll tell you that right. We did one show last night. I've been pushing for it. I'm not saying it's my idea, but we've been pushing for it. I've been pushing for it. One show, because we have 600 people on board. By the way, if you ever want to take a cruise right now. Anyone listening to this,
best time
you get the ship to yourself. You get the ship to yourself. It's the most unique cruise you're ever going to be on in your life. There's 600 people here on a ship that usually has about 3,200. Wow. I mean, it's pretty cool. But we did one show, 9:30. Good sized crowd, great crowd, best of the whole time I've been here. But, I've been saying it for weeks. How about one show instead of two and watered down? Nope. Anyway, it was great. Good time. And now we're in Coco Cay, and that's that, Yeah.
Where
are you now? What part of Virginia? I missed that in the beginning.
Norge. It's 2 towns over from
Norge.
Williamsburg, and then there's Colonial Williamsburg, which is a part of that, the epicenter of the tourist industry, where people come down to the town that's 1698 always, and people.
I don't think your African Americans enjoy that. I think they probably stay out of there. You know what I mean? I don't think they want to go back and relive those. I don't want to go there.
Some of the actors, or at Disney, they would call them cast members, but some of the actors here who are performing these, wearing the costume and performing these tasks of churning butter, they some of them are black.
Dumb.
Okay. But
I was kidding.
Here's what I know you were kidding, but here's what I would do. This is what I would do to keep up with what's going on in the world and current events. Mm-hmm. I would make some people play slaves, but make white people play the slaves, just in like tattered clothing. Yeah, like an experience. Whip them.
Yeah. And you pay $40 and you get the slave experience. You get whipped and you work in the field all day and see what it's like. Have the master come down and rape you. It'd be fun. These would be quite an experience. I like it.
That's not a rape joke. It's a joke that the word rape was mentioned.
That's right. I like it because churning butter is a fucking bore watching that shit. I mean, I've been there, and it's a hot day, and you're watching some poor kid in a costume churning butter. It is not a good time. That's when you look at the watch and go, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we did it with the kids, my niece and nephew. That's their big thing too. When we would come down during the holidays, was to go to Colonial Williamsburg, and I did it like 4 or 5 times. And all I want to do, where's the pub? Where's the tavern? Where's
That's
the
enough.
tavern? Let's go to the
Exactly.
tavern.
Where's the old tavern?
I go, okay,
Yeah.
I want to go in there with the old boards, the
Get a
crickety floor.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Get a beer wench and get a flagon of something and quench me thirst. You know, that's about as old school as I want to go. But butter, I can go buy butter in the store. I don't need to see it churned. You know what I mean? I missed that day, and that's fine.
Yeah, there was a comedian, Anthony Clark did the joke. I don't know if it was his or not, because it was when he had sticky fingers, because his man he had like the funniest 20 minutes ever, and his manager said, "You need an hour starting tomorrow to go do a college tour." So he came up with an hour.
Piece together an hour.
Yeah. Eventually he got his own material, but everybody was like, whoa. But he was a poor kid from a trailer park, and they said, "You want to make $100,000?" So at 24 years old.
I've seen it before. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with comedy. I mean, a lot of guys do it. There's a lot of guys out here on these ships that you go watch their show and you go, boy, that
best of
awfully familiar. They just think, well, we're out here. Who's going to know? You know what I mean? Who's going to know? 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I don't know how long it goes. Not to name drop, but with Kevin James, before he was, the king of Queens, did a cruise. And they told him he needed 2 45-minute shows. And he didn't have it. And he called me from like Skagway or one of those towns. And he knew, to his credit, he called me, he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to be doing like 30 minutes of your act." He goes, "I have to. I don't have it. I don't have the material." And I was like, "I don't care. You're on a ship in Alaska. That's fine." But he made a point of like, "Hey, I'm going to do it. I'm letting you know. I have to do this."
He was letting you know.
Which is more than most comics would do.
No, a lot of comics.
No, he didn't ask. He didn't ask. He did tell me.
Back in, I think it was 2005 was my first cruise, and I think it was Norwegian. And they just, one of those things, they love you. We added a show. Oh my goodness, they added a show. And I was sweating. So I called up Tom Cotter, Kevin Flynn, and Justin McKinney. And I go, "They want me to do another 45 and I don't have it." And I talked them down to a half hour and I don't have it. So they all started like sending me their jokes.
Oh, that's cool.
So and I pieced it together. I slapped it together horribly, but they saved my ass.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's such a weird thing because it's a compliment. They're saying we loved you. We want you to do more, but they don't understand. We're not like singers who can just go, "All right, let me grab 5 more songs and show it to the band." And you got to come up with that.
Here's my charts.
And that takes years. Here's my
charts,
somehow they think it takes hours, but no, it takes years. So
that's because and also you got to remember, we've talked about this before. When you do, I do those game shows, Liars Club and whatnot. I actually enjoy them, but I spend time on it. I write my original material, and it's not like anything else that anybody else is doing. And then sure enough, a year later, I'm doing Liars Club with my sure hits. And then the cruise director does my jokes just before me.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then I got to be, I have plan B, but
you do. You have a plan B. Good for you.
Well, my A game is taken away, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So then
it's the Wild West out here, man. There are no rules for showbiz out here. No. It is I'm out here. There's no other comic with me. I've been out here forever. I could be doing everybody's act. No one would ever know. I would get good ratings, and who's going to ever call me on it? Maybe one guy in the audience eventually would be like, "Hey, wait a second. That seemed like it was, whoever's act, and write something." But it's all the honor system out here. You just better, you're doing what you do, but nobody could ever know or call me on it. Some ships have 2 comics or 3, but not this one. It's me and a juggler. That's it, and a singer.
That's Billy, right? Billy Prudhomme.
Billy, yeah. Billy Prudhomme is here, and then there's a singer. One of those guys. I mean, he's good, whatever. He was on America's Got Talent or you know, one couple rounds.
Yeah.
People cash in on those things. It's
I did.
Everyone's a semi-finalist, and it's such bullshit.
I didn't even make it that far. I just took the best clips and I used that. I don't show the clip where they give me the boot.
Right. Yeah.
Where they give me the heave ho. I give them the one where I get the standing ovation and the clapping.
That's it. Yeah, this guy opens with that on on the screens, and then you go, okay, but it's good. He's the same. Those guys are all very similar. They're all Kenny James, Tony Tillman. They're very Earl Turner. They're talented guys. They can sing and dance a little, and so he's here, and then that's it. And then there's the Gaucho guys. Mario and Danielle, the two funny guys, produced this show, Impact. And,
but they're not on board themselves,
we're all winding
right?
down. Mario and Danielle, no, they're not here. They produced it. They put the show together.
Yeah, they're on. I think they were just performing on another show with Michelle
they
Ballin.
did it. They did a week or two kind of deal, which is great. And but they get a little cut from this, which is a nice.
Oh yeah, and you got to remember they got hit hard because I think they had like 4 shows on 4 different ships, 5 different ships.
That's a sweet little deal.
And they were
create
performing
shows.
every couple of months they'd go out and perform a week or two. The two brothers, because he goes, my brother Danny loves to perform. He just can't get enough of it. But Mario goes, I like to perform. My brother loves it. So he's trying to wean himself, but they want to keep their toe in the pool. But they got hit hard during COVID because all of their revenue from different they were making coin.
Yeah, they were doing very well. And
I think they were great guys. I think they were talking about retirement and just do not
producing.
Producing.
Yeah, they're big cigar guys. Always have some Cubans with them, and I never know which is Mario and which is Danielle. I mean, I've known them probably 15 years. I still, if you put a gun to my head, I probably would get it wrong. But that's on me. I don't pay attention. I barely know your name, so it's
well. Danny or Daniel is he's the brother.
Oh, okay, gotha. Yeah, I was wondering which one. Hey, right before we recorded, I'm up on the pool deck here, and there's tables, and bar waiters are walking around, and one of the guys is sitting here, some passenger smoking a cigarette, and he says to the bar waiter, "Hey," very rudely, like, "Hey, how come the pool's not bigger?" And the bar waiter, wherever he's from, I don't know where, but somewhere, and he doesn't speak English well, and he's just stuttering, going, "I'm sorry, a drink." And the guy goes, "Why isn't the pool bigger?" I mean, what did this guy think this poor bar waiter was going to say? Did he, you know what I mean? Sir, I believe the engineers, measured the water table and the size of the vessel, and they came to the conclusion that the best situation would be a pool this size. Like the guy standing going, drink.
Their training is the.
Why isn't it bigger?
Well, the whole thing is that the cruise line industry, they're supposed to not say no and walk away. They're supposed to either come up with an answer, engage, or find someone. Oh, let me find somebody, sir. But
let
me
find an engineer.
Why isn't the pool bigger?
Why isn't it bigger? And he's like this, kind of New York, like, why isn't it bigger? Like even if he got an answer, it was going to do something.
Sounds like it was
staying that size.
Sounds like it was either from New Jersey or Long Island, where you're from.
Yeah, exactly. He was. You could tell. He's just annoyed. It's like, dude, it's the second day of the cruise. There's nobody. You have the ship to yourself, and he's annoyed about the pool. There's no one in it, by the way. So it really doesn't. It's big enough for you right now. There's no one in the pool.
So he won't go in unless it's a certain size. He won't go swimming unless it's. This is 2 meters. It's 1.5 meters short. I can't do this. I'll hit my skull.
He's annoyed
because I do 78 strokes, and this is only a 75 stroke pool.
I did 78 strokes this morning. I'll tell you that much. Hey now,
I think I did easily. I broke 100.
Did you really? You need 100 in the morning? Morning,
Nah.
and it's pretty quick. Morning wood is.
Yeah, Morningwood is
Well,
it's a hotel in Skagway, Alaska, and it's a common thing for us.
That's true. Well, you're a married guy. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, but I'm staying at a relative's house, so even though when I'm like, my niece's house is pretty big, but even then, it's like it's because they have the 1-year-old, so they took the baby's bedroom. They took the baby's bedroom and made it into the guest room and put the baby's bedroom down the hall with its own private wing and private bed. It was awesome. And they said, no, we put her bedroom down there. It's just easier to wash her and change her with the master. There's 2 master bedrooms. So now we got rooked, man. We're staying in we got a shared bathroom with, whoever is there, and there's no one there, but
no.
They use it for their office too.
Why isn't this bathroom bigger?
Why isn't this bathroom bigger?
Why isn't this bathroom bigger?
How am I supposed to do my 78 strokes in this bathroom?
Hey, how was the birthday bash for the 1-year-old?
It went off well. It was an outdoor event. There was a lot of people there.
Her friends were there. They all came. A lot of her friends
and neighbors and relatives showed up, and there was like 30 kids, and the kids were all involved in the toys, and they had like my niece ended up getting a remote control Mercedes-Benz where you can do the remote from your phone. So now they had already taken out a test drive with my niece the day before. It was actually her birthday the day before, but the party was on Saturday. So my niece had already ridden it. So she was all about the pool and the water and the slide.
Right.
And it was the 3-foot slide or 3.5-foot slide where you hold the kid and slide them down. You go, wee, and they go into the water. But it's like 4 inches of water. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But they think it's like an Olympic. Matter of fact, they think it's they think it's just a big pond.
Well, they're not that smart at that age, are they?
No, they're
really
just
not that smart.
No, they're not very bright.
No,
kind of dumb. They're kind of dumb.
They're kind of dumb when you think about it.
It's they're like a muscle with eyes, and they drool.
You just hope they get smarter each year, because if not, then you got it's a problem.
Most of them get smarter each year for the first 8 years or so. It's after that, then you're like, oh, and some are slower.
They go backwards. Regress. But I'm sure she'll be fine. Yeah,
she'll be fine.
So you were saying people, crowds. You were telling me earlier you were a little COVID-y worried. You were like, hey,
I'm not,
keep your distance there, buddy. Let's.
I have an appointment Tuesday to take my CPR test, and if it's negative,
PCR,
PCR,
Oh, CPR. That would be weird.
No, PCR.
Or your CPA test. Maybe you get it. Maybe you'll become an accountant.
An accountant.
There.
Yeah.
Take the test.
Take the test.
What the hell? Take the CPA, the CPR, and the PCR.
I'll take them all.
Have a full day.
I'll take them all.
Yeah, take them all. Goddammit.
And I'll get my. I'll use my AAA discount.
And then you fly home. What's your schedule these days? You flying home? You flying to a
I'm flying
ship?
home tomorrow afternoon from wherever I am, Richmond, Virginia to Los Angeles. I stay home for about 65 hours, and then I head to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, that planning's not good, sir. You should have just stayed in Virginia and flown to Fort Lauderdale.
I didn't have my contract for the cruise. I didn't have my flights for the cruise, and the flights were filling up, and they were costing me more points because I had like 100,000 points, and it kept going up. And the rental car was insane. We had to rent a car. It was crazy, but it's all worked out now.
Have you used the Toro rental thing? Have you tried that?
Toro. You rent out your own car, or you rent a car?
You rent a car from someone who they own the car, and they show up at the airport or wherever, and it's a lot cheaper than a Budget or Hertz or Avis or any of those things.
We didn't do that, but we had to drop it off in a different state, so we couldn't. But we did look into it. We picked it up in Philly, drove to Atlantic City, and then drove to Richmond and dropped it off to the airport. My sister picked us up and drove an hour to her house. But these rental cars were between $1,200 and $1,500, and I got it through Amazon Prime and another discount for about $720. But I got $100 Amazon Prime credit, so it was like $620, which was not bad.
Not bad
for these times, but it was horrible because that's normally like a $350 car rental.
Right. Sure. Think about road comics right now, or just comedians who are doing the normal fly to a club. They pay for the air, maybe rent a car for the week, and then fly home. I mean, they're getting crushed. I don't know how they're doing it right now, even though, and the clubs are fullish, but still, I mean, you know, the air alone and a car is going to take out what they're making for the week. You know, I mean, I think I lost you there.
Hold on.
Did I lose you? Oh.
Yeah, I was on the fly. It's okay. I'm coming back.
I got a picture. There we go.
I'm coming back. back.
I just got the picture. If you're watching on patreon.com/the2dicks, you really should be watching this. This is an app you want to see, not listen to, because Al's in a place, you know, and then I'm in we're in different locales today. We've mixed it up. But yeah, I don't know. I think a road comic right now would be a tough gig. You know, air and gas.
Lost me again.
The price.
We
lost Al again. I don't know what fucking Al's doing right now, but we got a headshot of some kind.
I'm trying to get our thumbnails.
That's the most relaxed headshot I've ever seen, by the way. You're kicking back.
Oh yeah, I'm in my sister's bedroom, and
hey now, that's not.
Hey now, it's a
I
close
don't even
family.
know in Virginia if that's legal. All right,
no,
I don't know.
Mary.
Mary.
No, she's downstairs, and we got the dogs and all that. We just figured this would be a quiet place for me to do this.
Got you.
But anyways, we almost put on one of our past episodes from like number 70, but I managed to get here and make this silly little podcast. I have no idea how it's going to come out, but we'll see. Because right now I'm looking at myself, and then I have to tap on your picture to make you big. So
hey now,
but
you don't have to tap on my picture, buddy. I've been big for 20 minutes.
Woo! That's what all the boys say. Anyways,
that's right.
Do we have any questions today?
No questions today.
Do we have to
thank our listeners for? I want to thank our listeners for over 200 or 300 people who saw the question being saying, "Hey, ask us a question on the podcast," and nobody did. So I want to thank them for participating and rating, reviewing. I want to thank all our listeners for not doing that. Also, rate and review our episodes. I want to thank you. Please continue with your apathy. We appreciate it. Although the Beetle-Off did do very well. The Beetle-Off, we had a lot of listeners. And our last step, I think we brought new listeners from the Beetle-Off because the last volume on Monday did very well too. So I think we had some carryover from that. So that's all good. I'm kidding, but it wouldn't kill you to, ask a question or rate and review.
Well, what it does, it can change the algorithm. This is number 140. What is this? 143, 144?
I believe it's 144, sir.
It's 144.
Yeah.
And it keeps our algorithm up there, and it will give us incentive to keep doing them. And we're giving you free content, free entertainment.
Twice a week. Twice a week. I mean, I listen to a lot of pods. They're once a week. That's it.
If you want the video version, once a week. If you want the video version of this, what you do is you go to our Patreon page to show your support. And for as little as $5 a month, you get a little prize, you get a little gift, but you get exclusive videos, and you get to see the video podcast. We only release video podcasts for the general public every once in a while, but Patreon members get to see them every single time. And other things happen there that we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, and I put some stuff on there last week, a little behind the scenes video, and when I'm walking around, sometimes I just turn on the old phone and throw it on the
I'm walking
Patreon.
here.
And great movie, great movie.
Midnight
If you
Cowboy.
know what it is, everyone. I hope you know.
Oh,
Yeah, great.
Was I?
You know what I never knew,
Oh.
or not knew, but I always assumed Hoffman was a New Yorker because of that performance and others. I just thought he's a New Yorker. He's like a Jew from Brooklyn or something. You know what I mean? Dustin Hoffman? No. Born and raised California. The hell?
Was that his first movie after The Graduate?
I believe you are correct. They yes, it was. And they weren't going to give it to him. Right. He wasn't going to get The Graduate. First of all, they wanted Redford for The Graduate. And then
they had to convince
Hoffman
Mike Nichols.
went to right. And then Hoffman put on a whole, look to get that role in Midnight. I mean, that's how good this guy is. He gets The Graduate where he plays, and then his next role is Ratso Rizzo, Midnight. I mean, that's phenomenal. Then he's in Papillon not long after that. I mean, holy shit! You know what I mean? This guy, and it's ridiculous.
This is during the De Niro and Pacino were just becoming monsters. He was actually really good before them, but they were running New York.
And and also to get a movie, a star, these were the good-looking guys like Redford and Newman. The guys like Hoffman, who's 5'0" and he's not getting that role unless he's just. But he's so fucking good. They're like, well, we give it to him. He had leading man roles, Kramer versus Kramer, and normally that actor, a guy who looks like him with his size, that's a supporting guy at best.
Yeah, he carved out a leading acting career because he's got the goods. And also he you gotta remember now, he was like 30, wasn't he like 32, 33 when he played the 22-year-old graduate in The Graduate?
I don't know if he was that old, but he was older than they wanted and older than the part.
I think he was at least 30. I'm pretty sure about that. And also his Mrs. Robinson,
she's like 30 something,
and Bancroft, is playing a 45-year-old woman, but she was like 30. What was she, 38 or something? So
she was in her late 30s, and she's supposed to be this older woman. And,
the late and
Bancroft. She's in her late 30s. Yeah,
and that was Mel Brooks's wife, correct?
Correct. Amazing.
How about
that
this
marriage
shit
was one of those great marriages. Pretty good.
Lasted for decades.
Impressive.
Before she just passed. That's
a
few years back, but
she had
passed.
She had that great quote about their marriage. Whenever she heard Mel come home, she said, "I would hear the key go in the door, and I knew the party was about to begin."
They had a great
awesome.
marriage.
And
apparently, they had a very healthy, healthy sex marriage. Laugh, party, entertain.
Yep.
Creative, and
I don't think you can get a better quote than that, though, from your partner saying that. Like, I knew the party was about to begin. It's like, holy shit, that's awesome.
I'm going to get Bernie to memorize that. I'm going to put it over my bed. So we have no questions. We have no trivia questions.
I have a lot of questions, sir. I have a lot of questions. Believe me, I got tons of questions.
I do got to wrap up here. I came back to my sister's house. I put her backsplash in her kitchen for her, and I got to put a couple more pieces up. But I'm leaving tomorrow, so I drove an hour. I took my niece's car. I drove an hour to finish that up. But she just brought in my Chinese food late lunch, so I'm going to have that.
So you're going back to
I'm jumping.
You're going back to the niece's house after this.
Yes, I'm gonna have Chinese lunch with my dear sister and wish her farewell, and then I will head back to my niece and have dinner with them, and then we'll start pre-packing, and then we head home after being on the road for nearly 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. You're right. I forgot all about Borgata and the whole thing. And look at you traveling, working,
and then I got to get on a ship for 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks. Wow. When you getting off that ship? We might be getting off the ships at the same time.
The 17th. The 17th.
I get off on the 18th.
So here's the
scoop. I get off the ship that same day. My
friend's having a big birthday party. So his girlfriend calls me up and says, "Can you be there? I hope you can be there." So I put it on my calendar, September 25th. She texts, I accept my contract. I sign my contracts. I send it in. 48 hours later, she texts me, "Hey, September 17th, I hope you're still open." I'm like, "I thought it was the 25th." She goes, "Yeah, we switched it." I'm like, and whatever.
Is it in California?
Yeah, it's in Los Angeles, Sherman Oaks. So she just, I mean, she's a big wig over at Showtime, and I think that she's going to be moving on to a bigger position. So
really,
you want, yeah, so, and then that's when I'm going to pitch the two dicks.
Two dicks.
Hello,
2 dicks, baby.
I'm going to pitch the 2 dicks. That's the whole point.
2 dicks. There we go. Get to that party.
The thing is, her husband, he's Kevin Flynn. He's a comedian. So her husband, her boyfriend.
Right.
So he's got ideas, and I'm asking. I don't care. I'm just asking.
Yeah. He has ideas. We have a thing already, though.
He has
ideas.
This thing is 3 years.
We have a
3.5 years.
we have
episodes. We have sizzle reels. We have decks.
That's right.
We're ready.
Yeah. We don't have any of that stuff, but I hear what you're saying.
we got all that footage. We have 16 episodes.
Oh, we have,
and we have 144 episodes of our podcast. We got content.
There's a lot of content going on, and that's patreon.com/the2dicks, folks. That's where you want to go. Join the Patreon. Make us stop begging. That's what I hate listening to a podcast. People are begging for the Patreon. I'm always like, ugh. And then I come on and do the same thing. So it sucks. But patreon.com/the2dicks. And rate and review the podcast. And we'll see you next time. Peace
out.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/the2dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, show.
All right. Subscribe, Mary.
Go to patreon.com/the2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.